Hi students, this is Botany PSR. Today we will discuss about nature of bond linking monomers in a polymer. Nature of bond linking monomers in a polymer. Okay, right. What is peptide bond? Where do you find the peptide bond? In the formation of protein, that is amino acids are linked together by peptide bond. Wherever the peptide bond is formed, there one H2O molecule is released, which is so called dehydration. So peptide bond is present between two amino acids in a polypeptide or protein. Okay, right. Peptide bond present between amino acids of a protein or polypeptide, between two amino acids of a protein or polypeptide. That peptide bond occurs in the direction of C to N direction. Always peptide bond formation occurs in C to N direction. Don't say N to C. C to N. Why? Because carboxyl group of first amino acid is attached to amino group of next amino acid. That's why the peptide bond always occurs in the formation of the direction of C to N direction during translation. For the formation of each peptide bond, one H2O molecule is released. Release of H2O molecule is called dehydration. Next, where do you find the glycosidic bonds? Glycosidic bonds means if you observe the polysaccharide, let us suppose this is a polysaccharide, monosaccharide, 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 monosaccharides. That means it is a polysaccharide. Polymer of monosaccharides is called polysaccharide. So between two monosaccharides, glycosidic bond is present. Between two monosaccharides, glycosidic bond. Two monosaccharides are there means one glycosidic bond. So that is three monosaccharides are there means two glycosidic. So number of glycosidic bonds is equal to monosaccharides minus 1. Like that you have to take. Wherever the glycosidic bond is formed here in a polysaccharide, there one H2O molecule is released. So where do you find the glycosidic bond means? Between monosaccharides of a polysaccharide. Between monosaccharides of a polysaccharide. Wherever the glycosidic bond is formed in polysaccharide, there one H2O molecule is released, which is so called dehydration. Same, this glycosidic bond is also present between sugar and nitrogen base. Nitrogen base is attached to which carbon of sugar means? First carbon of sugar. By which bond means N-glycosidic bond, also called glycosidic bond. That is, in the structure of DNA, no dehydration. Whereas in the polysaccharide, in the formation of glycosidic bond, dehydration occurs. Right, glycosidic bond present between nitrogen base and first carbon of sugar. There glycosidic bond is present. Glycosidic bond is present between nitrogen base and sugar, which is sugar and nitrogen base together called nucleoside. What is that? Nucleoside. The bond in nucleoside is glycosidic bond. Next, there no dehydration occurs in the structure of DNA. And this glycosidic bond is also present between monosaccharides of a polysaccharide. Between two monosaccharides, one glycosidic bond. According to this given diagram, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number of monosaccharides in this polysaccharide, this is 7. Number of monosaccharides in this given polysaccharide is 7 monosaccharides. 7 means number of glycosidic bonds means N minus 1. That is monosaccharides minus 1. where n is equal to number of monosaccharides. Number of glycosidic bonds is equal to number of dehydrations. Here according to this polysaccharide, number of monosaccharides present means 7. Number of glycosidic bonds present means 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number of H2O molecules released means 6 only. Like that you have to calculate. Next. So, present between two monosaccharides of a polysaccharide. In the formation of each glycosidic bond in polysaccharide, one H2O is released, which is so called dehydration. Overall, dehydrations occur. Dehydration means removal of water molecule. So, in the formation of each peptide bond in protein, in the formation of peptide bond in a protein, dehydration occur. Similarly, in the formation of each glycosidic bond in a polysaccharide also, dehydration occur. So, in these two cases, H2O molecules are released. Release of H2O molecules is called dehydration. Next, phosphodiester bond. Where do you find phosphodiester bonds? Means in the structure of DNA. That is, the two phosphodiester bonds on either side of, let us suppose, this is a phosphorus, this is one bond. So, this is so called phosphoester bond, this is also called phosphoester bond. These two together called phosphodiester bonds. The two phosphoester bonds on either side of phosphate together called phosphodiester bonds. So, two phosphoester bonds on either side of phosphate in nucleotides of nucleic acids, it is so called phosphodiester bond. Phosphodiester bond. Next, hydrogen bonds. That is, between A and T, two hydrogen bonds are present. Between G and C, three hydrogen bonds are present. That is, between two nitrogen bases, hydrogen bonds are present. Between nitrogen bases, hydrogen bonds are present. And these hydrogen bonds are also present between opposite nucleotides. The two nucleotides are held together by hydrogen bonds. A always pairs with T with two hydrogen bonds. G always pairs with C with three weak hydrogen bonds. So, A pairs with T with two weak hydrogen bonds. G always pairs with C with three weak hydrogen bonds. So, nitrogen bases are held together by hydrogen bonds. Opposite nucleotides are held together by hydrogen bonds. Right. What are the different types of bonds found in different substances? The bonds. These are the different types of bonds. The bonds present in proteins are called peptide bonds. That a peptide bond occurs in the direction of C to N. Don't say N to C. The bonds present in polysaccharides are called glycosidic bonds. The bonds present in nucleic acids are called phosphodiester bonds or phosphoester bonds. The two phosphoester bonds on either side of phosphate together called phosphodiester bonds. The bonds present in fats are called ester bonds. Ester bonds. The bonds in proteins are called peptide bonds. Bonds in polysaccharides are called glycosidic bonds. Bonds in nucleic acids are called phosphoester bonds. Bonds in fats are called ester bonds. Okay? And now I am going to give one or two numericals. Right, look at here, my dear students. 60 monosaccharides are found in a polysaccharide. In that polysaccharide, how many monosaccharides are there? 60. Now, what they are asking? Total glycosidic bonds. Total glycosidic bonds. That is number of glycosidic bonds. Number of glycosidic bonds is equal to number of monosaccharides minus 1. Given monosaccharides how many? 60. 60 minus 1. So that is equal to 59 is the answer. Right. Number of H2O molecules released. H2O molecules means number of glycosidic bonds. Number of glycosidic bonds is equal to number of H2O released. How many glycosidic bonds are there means 59. That is equal to 59. Like that you have to do the numericals. Okay. Did you understand? I hope you understood, my dear students. Right. Another numerical. 30 amino acids are found in a protein. That protein contains how many amino acids? 30. Total peptide bonds. How do we get peptide bonds means number of amino acids minus 1 is equal to number of peptide bonds. So, total peptide bonds is equal to number of amino acids minus 1. Total amino acids given how many? 30 minus 1. That is equal to 29 is the answer. Number of H2O released wherever the peptide bond is formed. So, number of H2O released is equal to number of peptide bonds. Number of peptide bonds how many? Means 29. So, number of H2O released also 29. Okay. Please note down all these points, my dear students. First of all, now look at here, my dear students. This is the structure of DNA. S means sugar, sugar, sugar. Nitrogen bases. Between nitrogen base is attached to first carbon of sugar. Nitrogen base is attached to first carbon of sugar. Nitrogen base is attached to first carbon of sugar. Nitrogen base is attached to which carbon of sugar? First carbon. Nitrogen base is attached to first carbon of sugar. 1 point. This is nitrogen base, this is nitrogen base. These bonds are so called hydrogen bonds. Between two nitrogen bases, the bond present is hydrogen bonds. Between nitrogen base and sugar, the bond present is This is so called N-glycosidic bond. N-glycosidic bond. Between A and T, two weak hydrogen bonds are present. Between G and C, three weak hydrogen bonds are present. A always pairs with thymine and vice versa. G always pairs with C, cytosine, and vice versa. T pairs with A pairs with T, G pairs with C, C pairs with G. So that is so called complementary. That is so called complementary. Now this is a phosphate. Phosphate is attached to third carbon of sugar and also fifth carbon of sugar. Phosphate is attached to third carbon of sugar and also fifth carbon of sugar. Then what is a nucleotide? Phosphate, sugar and nitrogen base. That is phosphate, sugar and nitrogen base together called nucleotide. Phosphate, nitrogen base, sugar and phosphate. So that is nitrogen base, sugar and phosphate. This is one nucleotide and this is another nucleotide. This is one nucleotide, this is another nucleotide. So the two opposite nucleotides are held together by hydrogen bonds. The two opposite nucleotides are held together by hydrogen bonds. Nitrogen base is attached to which carbon of sugar? First carbon of sugar. Phosphate is attached to both fifth carbon and third carbon alternately. Okay, right. The bond present in sugar and phosphate is called phosphoester bond. Bond present in sugar and phosphate is called phosphoester bond. Together called phosphodiester bond. Between phosphorus and sugar, phosphoester bond. Between phosphorus and sugar, phosphoester bond. So the two phosphoester bonds on either side of phosphate together called phosphodiester bonds. Those phosphodiester bonds occur in the direction of 3 to 5. Phosphodiester bonds occur in the direction of phosphodiester bonds occurs in 3 to 5 direction. Very, very important. Phosphodiester bonds occur in 3 to 5 direction. E always pairs with T. G always pairs with C. What is a nucleoside? Nucleoside means sugar and nitrogen base. Nucleotide means phosphate, sugar and nitrogen base. To remember easily, nucleoside means Srinivas. To remember easily, make it simple. Nucleotide, T for 3 components are there: phosphate, sugar and nitrogen base. To remember easily, P Srinivas, like that you have to remember, right? This is together called nucleoside. P plus nucleoside is called nucleotide. Which one is called backbone of DNA? Backbone of DNA means P plus S. Backbone is called P plus S. Nucleoside is S plus N. The bond present in nucleoside is sugar and nitrogen base. What is the bond? N-glycosidic bond. Backbone of DNA contains P plus S. What is the bond means? Phosphoester bond. The bond in backbone of DNA is phosphoester bond. Bond in nucleoside is N-glycosidic bond. Okay. If you observe means sugar and phosphate. This is so-called phosphorus and sugar together called backbone of DNA. And this is the nitrogen base. Nitrogen base is attached to first carbon of sugar. And similarly T, Sp. Nitrogen base is attached to first carbon of sugar. Phosphorus and sugar together called backbone. Nitrogen base is attached to backbone of DNA more or less perpendicularly. Nitrogen base is attached to backbone of DNA more or less perpendicularly, but faced inside. Don't say outside. Nitrogen base is attached to backbone of DNA more or less perpendicularly, but faced inside. Again, I am telling. Nitrogen base is attached to backbone of DNA more or less perpendicularly, but faced inside. Don't say outside. Okay. Now I would recall the bonds. Bonds present between two nitrogen bases is hydrogen bonds. The bonds present between two opposite nucleotides is hydrogen bonds. The bond present between nitrogen base and sugar is N-glycosidic bond. Bond present between sugar and phosphate is phosphoester bond. If you remember means, make it simple. See, sugar is common, no? Sugar and nitrogen base, N sound, N-glycosidic bond. Sugar and phosphate, phosphorus sound, phosphoester bond. Like that you have to remember. Make it simple. Again I am telling my dear students, sugar and nitrogen base, N-glycosidic bond. Sugar and phosphate, phosphoester bond. Like that you have to remember. Okay. Right. This is a nucleotide I told. In a nucleotide, phosphate is attached to fifth carbon of sugar of a nucleotide. Don't say third carbon. Actually that phosphorus is attached to both third carbon and fifth carbon of sugars alternately. But in a nucleotide, the phosphate is attached to fifth carbon of sugar in a nucleotide. Phosphate is attached to fifth carbon of sugar to the nucleoside. Nitrogen base and sugar together called nucleoside. This is phosphate. Phosphorus is attached to fifth carbon of sugar to the nucleoside. Don't say third carbon. Phosphorus is also attached to third carbon of sugar of adjacent nucleotide. Adjacent nucleotide means phosphorus will be attached to third carbon. Phosphorus is attached to fifth carbon means a nucleotide or same nucleotide. That one you have to remember. Okay. Now look at here, my dear students. This is the turn of DNA. See, it is double helix. Watson and Crick discovered double helical structure of DNA. How many types of DNAs are there means? More than a dozen. More than a dozen means more than 12, which are named after English alphabets. That is aDNA, bDNA, cDNA, zDNA, etc. etc. How many types of DNAs are there means? More than a dozen. That is more than 12 DNAs are there. Of these, Watson and Crick discovered DNA is bDNA. It shows secondary structure. Right. This is length of DNA is uncertain. Length of one turn DNA 34 angstroms. Diameter of DNA is 20 angstroms. So this is turn. So how many strands of DNA contain means 2 strands which run anti-parallel, anti-polarity. If one strand 5 to 3 means other strand in 3 to 5. That is so called anti-parallel, anti-polarity. That is two strands run in opposite direction and the two strands show anti-polarity and complementary. Complementary means A pairs with T and G pairs with C, vice versa. How can you remember means A pairs with T, G pairs with C. These two are called purines. These two are called pyrimidines. Pyrimidines are monocyclic compounds, whereas purines are dicyclic compounds. How can you remember means AT, Adi take tea, Gopi take 3 chapatis. Like that you have to remember. Pairing and hydrogen bonds. Adi take tea, Gopi take 3 chapatis. 3 chapatis means 3 hydrogen bonds are present. Purines are dicyclic compounds having 2 CN rings. Pyrimidines are monocyclic compounds having 1 CN ring. Okay. Next, the diameter of DNA is 20 angstroms, or in other words 2.0 nanometers. That is 2 nanometers. Radius means 10 angstroms. Right. Here let us, from here we start means, here this is 1 turn. 1 turn. This turn is also called helix, also called spiral, also called coil, also called pitch. Turn, helix, spiral, coil, pitch. The distance between number of steps means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Number of steps means 10 steps are there. How many steps are there in 1 turn DNA? 10 steps. How many base pairs means 10 base pairs are present. One step is considered as one base pair. One base pair contains how many nucleotides? 2 nucleotides. If we look at here means this is one nucleotide, this is another nucleotide. Together called one step. One step contains 2 nucleotides, isn't it? One nucleotide contains 1 phosphate, 1 sugar, 1 nitrogen base. Sugar is attached to how many nitrogen bases? 1 nitrogen base. Sugar is attached to how many phosphate groups? 1. Sugar is attached to 1 nitrogen base and sugar is attached to 1 phosphate group. Sugar is attached to 1 phosphate and 1 nitrogen base. Right. How many steps are there means 10 steps. How many base pairs? 10 base pairs. One base pair contain 2 nucleotides. 10 base pairs contain 20 nucleotides. Okay. The distance between 2 steps is 3.4 angstroms. The distance between 2 steps is 3.4 angstroms. Of these, how many steps are there? 10. So that is length of 1 turn DNA is 34 angstroms. 34, 3.4 into 10, 34 angstroms. And the angle between 2 steps is 36 degrees. The angle between 2 steps is 36 degrees. 1 turn angle is 36 into 10, that is 360 degrees. 360 degrees. Right. 1 turn DNA contains, this is considered as minor groove, this will be considered as major groove. So 1 turn DNA contains 1 major groove and 1 minor groove. This is minor groove, this is major groove. Diameter of DNA is always constant. Why? Because The purine always comes opposite to pyrimidine. Purine comes opposite to pyrimidine, or pyrimidine comes opposite to purine. That is the only reason for maintaining uniform diameter, constant diameter. So the diameter of DNA is always remains constant, that is 20 angstroms. What is the reason? Purine always comes opposite to pyrimidine, or pyrimidine always comes opposite to purine. Purine pairs with pyrimidine, or pyrimidine pairs with purine. So that is the reason. Okay. Next, number of CN rings in each step. Let us suppose I take here A. If I take A means here T will be there. A is purine or pyrimidine? A is purine. Purine means number of CN rings 2. Thymine means pyrimidine. Number of CN rings in each step means 3. Let us suppose here I have take C, here G. C is called purine or pyrimidine? C. C means pyrimidine 1. Guanine is purine 2. Total number of CN rings. Number of CN rings in each step means 3. Number of CN rings in each step means 3. Like this, how many steps are there? 10. 10 into 3, 30 CN rings. Number of CN rings in each step 3. In one turn DNA, that is 3 into 10, 30. Length of one turn DNA is 34 angstroms. Length of DNA is uncertain, infinite. Okay? Alright. Number of phosphodiester bonds in one turn DNA means 18, like that you have to take. Number of phosphoester bonds in one turn means that is 38. Okay. Now look at here, my dear students. One turn DNA contains one major groove and one minor groove. Length of one turn DNA is 34 angstroms. By 10 means we get in nanometers. 34 by 10, 3.4 nanometers. Angstroms will be converted into nanometers means we have to do divided by 10. Number of steps 10. Number of base pairs 10. Number of nucleotides 20. If number of nucleotides 20 means number of sugars 20. Number of phosphates 20. Number of nitrogen bases 20. In each nucleotide, one phosphate, one sugar, one nitrogen base present. Distance between two successive base pairs is 3.4 angstroms, or by 10 means 0.34 nanometers. Angle between two steps is 36 degrees. Angle of one turn DNA is 360 degrees. Number of phosphodiester bonds in one turn DNA is 18. How it gets means formula n minus 2. N minus 2, where n is equal number of nucleotides. Number of nucleotides means 20. 20 minus 2, 18. Number of phosphoester bonds in one turn DNA, 38. 2n minus 2 formula, where n is equal number of nucleotides. 2 into 20, 40. 40 minus 2, 38. Number of CN rings in each step, 3. Number of CN rings in each turn, 30. Number of hydrogen bonds in each turn. If all 10 A's are present means 10 into 2, 20. If all G's are there means 10 into 3, 30. Hydrogen bonds range between 20 to 30. This number will be changed. So, in the structure of DNA, which are not constant means number of hydrogen bonds not constant, sequence of nitrogen base also not constant. Which are not constant means number of hydrogen bonds range is 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. So, number of hydrogen bonds range is 20 to 30. This number is not constant. So, which are in the structure of DNA, which of the following are not constant means number of hydrogen bonds and sequence of nitrogen bases, that is also not constant. Okay. Stability of helical structure of DNA is due to, what are the reasons for stability of helical structure of DNA means? 4 reasons are there. Presence of thymine, hydrogen bonds present, thymine present, lacking of OH group at second carbon, and base pairs arranged one above the other as a staircase. This is all those 4 reasons will give the stability of DNA. What are the reasons for stability of DNA means? All those 4 points are correct only. Presence of thymine, presence of hydrogen bonds, and next one lacking of OH group at second carbon, and base pairs are present one above the other as a staircase. These 4 reasons will give stability of helical structure of DNA. Next, Watson and Crick discovered bDNA. By Watson and Crick, it is double helical model, right-handed coiling. Don't say left-handed. bDNA is right-handed coiling. Don't say left-handed. It exhibits secondary structure. bDNA exhibits secondary structure. Don't say tertiary. And 2 polynucleotides are antipolarity. Antipolarity means if one strand in 5 to 3 means other strand will be 3 to 5. Both are in opposite direction. That is so called antipolarity, and those 2 polynucleotides will show complementarity. What is that? Complementarity. Total how many types of DNAs are present? More than a dozen. More than a dozen means more than 12. Of these, in the structure of DNA, which of the following are not constant means number of hydrogen bonds, sequence of nitrogen bases or nucleotides. Sequence of nucleotides is not constant. Number of hydrogen bonds is also not constant. Remaining all are constant. Number of steps constant 10. Number of CN rings constant 30 in one turn. Number of phosphodiester bonds constant 18. Number of phosphester bonds 38 constant. Number of nucleotides constant 20. Number of base pairs 10 constant. Number of nitrogen bases, phosphates, sugar, all these are all constant in the structure of DNA. Why the diameter of DNA is always 20 angstroms means purine always pairs with pyrimidine. Okay. I hope you understood this matter, my dear students. Please note down all these points. Notes.